You're a loser. You're good for nothing. You're unattractive. Ugh. You always get things wrong. Guys, I can't believe you have these things going on in your head. You don't have any friends. You don't deserve any friends. You're fat. No one loves you. You don't deserve love. Of course you deserve. You can't do this. Why do you even try? Would you ever let someone say these things to your best friend? Well, your very best friend, right? Would you say these things? Have you heard these things said to you? Was it your inner critic saying any of these things to you? Is this what your internal conversations with yourself sound like? Do your internal conversations build you up or bring you down? The inner critic, this voice in our head, is what's influencing and promoting feelings of insecurity. And today, over this delicious cup of tea, I'm going to teach you how to overcome feelings of insecurity in 3 very simple, very doable, and actually very enjoyable steps. You're going to love this. So let's settle in together. Okay, when we recognize that it's this inner critic that is chattering about, spewing all of the self-flagellation day in and day out, we must ask ourselves, why are we so critical of ourselves? In fact, why are we our very worst critics? Why do we tolerate these terrible criticisms of ourselves when, if someone said these things to our very best friend, they'd be getting an earful from us defending them? And quite frankly, we'd unfriend them. Consider this. In general, we love others regardless of whether they're tall enough or thin enough or beautiful enough or successful enough. We love people for who they are inside. So why are we so tough on ourselves for who we are inside? Well, it turns out that this goes right back to our childhood. Studies published by researchers in the Encyclopedia of Infant and Early Childhood Development, the Encyclopedia of Human Behavior, and the Encyclopedia of Applied Psychology all indicate that our feelings of insecurity or needlessness go back to the way we were raised, the bonds we formed during those childhood years. It has to do with how safe and secure we felt as infants and older children, how well we were understood, and how well we were comforted. At that vulnerable age, if we internalize the feelings of being unsupported or unloved, we unconsciously projected those feelings on ourselves, even when we grow up. That's the language the inner critic keeps using. And that is why you must be your own best friend and learn how to overcome feelings of insecurity and silence this inner critic yourself. This way, you know you're always okay because you are there, not because some imaginary hero is coming to rescue you. Imagine, you are the hero. You are the rescuer. And guess what? You're the best person for the job. What's happened in our childhood is long gone. We can't change the past. What we can do is make our present beautiful. Just let that wash over you. What we can do is make our present beautiful. You are lovely, lovable, beautiful, and worthy. And you can recognize this about yourself anytime. You need to recognize this for yourself. It makes me tear up that people don't see the beauty in themselves. Refocus your loving energies on yourself again. Be innocent about it, like a child is about their strengths. A child loves innocently. You can love yourself with complete innocence and even awe. Now, that's a mind shift from letting the inner critic say things you wouldn't let anyone say about your best friend, to silencing your own inner critic to loving yourself with complete innocence and awe. You can recognize your gifts and your talents and your worth, and you start to heal your soul. You can be your best soulmate if, in fact, you are. The first step is to flip that internal switch. Just flip it. The next time the inner critic makes you feel bad about yourself for some support, ask yourselves this: how would my best friend defend me against this? What would my best friend do to make me overcome this prison guard that keeps me locked up? How would my best friend help me escape? Or if the protective instinct is very strong within you, switch tactics and think of it like this. If someone was saying all these negative things to your best friend, what would you do? How would you react, and how would you defend your best friend? If I were to hear my friends say, "I'm too fat, I'm never going to find love," my reaction would be to wake her up by defending her, saying, "Don't you dare say something like that about my friend. She's wonderful and lovable, and any guy would be lucky to be with her." You see what I mean? You are always ready to defend. Well, we are always ready to defend our friends, but not ourselves. Go ahead. Be your best friend and defend yourself against this negative self-talk. This is the internal switch you need to flip. When that inner critic tells you you're not enough, tell yourself that you're very much enough. The next thing you can do is honor yourself and recognize your worth. Brene Brown said it really well when she said, if we want to fully experience love and belonging, we must believe that we are worthy of love and belonging. I like that so much. It's going to take courage because you've been listening to that inner critic for far too long. That prison guard has had you locked up in your smallness for far too long. Now, you get to look at yourself with fresh eyes, with innocent love, with compassion, and yes, with grace and forgiveness. If people are coming at you with negativity, remember, we all do what we've learned. They are just projecting their negative feelings about themselves onto you. If someone makes you feel as though you're not enough, know that this is coming from a place of not feeling enough themselves. Let that cloud pass right on by you. It's their cloud. It's not your cloud. Brush off the hostility, the negativity, the criticism. You're more than that. Their negativity doesn't have to be your negativity. Thirdly, learn self-care. Prioritize yourself and your well-being. Become compassionate towards you. You know what they say, you cannot pour from an empty cup. You can only love others if you have the emotional bandwidth to love, and loving yourself is a very big part of that. Think about it. It's never going to be fair fight if you're beating yourself up. Because if you're doing the beating, who's doing the defending? Don't feel guilty about taking time out for you, for appreciating you, for taking care of you. Enjoy self-compassion. Savor that self-compassion and self-care. It's delicious. It's your birthright. And anyone worth having in your life will love seeing you enjoy being yourself. Invest in that joy. Know that your feelings, needs, emotions are important and valid and worthy of your care. And remember, it is okay to put yourself first. Too much of the messaging around us is about selflessness and service to others. They all want us to be superwoman who take care of the family, work, and home, and aging elders. That is not a bad thing. But remember what I said about pouring from an empty cup. So self-care and self-love have to come first. You must first be your own best soulmate to be your best for others. People think that if others love me and accept me, I won't feel insecure. That's not how it works. I must love and accept myself to not feel insecure. And trust me, you don't really need anyone else in the true sense. Not your husband, your boyfriend, your kids, your parents, your friends, your colleagues. None of them are indispensable in your life. Yes, they play their parts in your life story. Some play significant parts, some not so much, but they just play a part. No one else has the power to fill the gaps you feel in your existence. Only you have the power to do that. Only you can be your hero. Imagine that life when you're brimming with self-assurance, when your inner critic is immediately silenced the moment it raises its head up to prevent you from living your best life. When that prison guard has been slayed, when external criticism is brushed off with an air of self-love, that's the life when every morning brings with it a day of promise, of hope, and of miracles waiting to happen. When you follow these 3 steps to gaining self-confidence, when you learn how to overcome feelings of insecurity, you not only become happier, you also become more attractive. Neediness is never attractive. We've all been around people who are projecting that kind of sentiment. Self-confidence is exceedingly attractive. So learning how to overcome feelings of insecurity is a wonderful way to attract more of what you want in your life by being your own best soulmate, which is exactly what you're here to do. Attract more good things in your life. Say it with me. I am enough.
Thanks for watching. Don't miss out on a single thing. Subscribe below. And here's something else I think you'll enjoy. Namaste.